You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Fashion Star After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Fashion Star After Show.
Hello, universe. Welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV. I'm your host, Canden Bliss. I'm here with my lovely co-host, Miss Stephanie Wenger. And we are once again doing Fashion Star After Show. We are on episode 4 now of Fashion Star, NBC's new fashion production.
Yeah, I know, exactly. I was going to say high energy, crazy, all over the place fashion show.
Fashion show. And that's
before you guys bring all your fashion energy, I just wanted to say you guys do a great show. You work very hard to bring a great show. The only thing that we want in return for you to do is our iTunes fans rate and comment the show. Super simple. That's all we need. One little task. And then we could talk Fashion Star forever.
And
it's that simple.
And we love reading the comments.
we do, the positive ones. You know, I find it interesting. A lot of fans, even myself, I find myself doing this when I watch certain shows. If I love the show, it's like, oh, great, I love it. And then that's it. But if I hate it, I'm like, oh, yeah, if I don't like the show, I'm definitely going to sign up and rate and comment and all that. It's like if you don't like it, it gives you like more enthusiasm to rate and comment. But we want you guys to be enthused positively.
Yes, like, please.
Tell us what you like about the show.
And if you have something that you don't like so much, we want to hear that too. So maybe we can fix it or improve it. That's
There you
always
go.
helpful too. But that's
But
great.
the positive ones we like the best.
Yeah, I mean, if you like us, we definitely want to know about it.
Just give us a thumbs up or a star, however they do it on iTunes.
I think it's a star. With some 5 stars.
Fashion
maybe?
Star. There you go. Make a little
Exactly.
So tonight's episode was high-end and mass market appeal to 2 different designs, which is kind of, we haven't seen any sort of challenge like this before. And I like that. I like that tonight was a little different. Stephanie and I both looked at each other a little bit tonight. We're like, is this show kind of like coming together?
I know. It suddenly felt like I got it. Like I understood what the point was. I could follow the show. I didn't feel the need to continually use our DVR to rewind and pause.
Well, we finally had an intro, and it's interesting that we're at week 4, and we finally had a very fluid, informational introduction. It was, hello, this is Fashion Star. Here are the 3 mentors, and here is how the show will work. Here are our buyers. This is the prize. And you're like, oh.
Exactly. It was like, okay, so they get their designs in all 3 stores, which has been kind of a question mark throughout the competition. It's a $6 million prize, which I'm not sure we have fully heard before. Maybe
we heard the number 6 million last week, but we weren't sure why.
Yeah, exactly. Why it was 6 million. So it was nice to kind of get the reasoning behind that. And also, I was just super excited. I was at the beginning of the show being like, I think I'm really excited about this show suddenly.
Well, they pumped it up finally at the beginning of the show with the intro. You're excited. You see what's going to happen. You understand what's going to happen, and then you get excited about it. I mean, it's kind of a basic how we work as people who watch TV. It's like you want to know kind of what you're watching and what it's about.
And I think for the first time, we were actually pumped for the right reasons, too. It wasn't just about some random one-off performance or, oh, Jessica Simpson is on the show. It was like a full package of like, this is Fashion Star and here's how we're going to go. And that was awesome.
And you made a comment that you thought Elle Macpherson did a better job as a host this week.
Absolutely. I thought she was really on the mark. She was able to read certain lines. Oftentimes I felt like in weeks past you were kind of seeing her stare at a teleprompter and that kind of bothered me, where this week it felt much more fluid for her.
Yeah, I think we were both very excited for this episode, and not that it's not a great show. We just have been a little confused as viewers, trying to figure out what the point of the show is and really what the end result's going to be for these designers. We wanted to know a little bit more about them, and I feel like we're starting to. Now, they did finally give us a number. There's 11 designers remaining at the beginning of tonight's episode. Now there's 10. I think there was just so many designers. It was like, I don't know how many there are. There's just a lot of them.
I felt like, we kind of had these random puzzle pieces. And now as we're getting more of the puzzle pieces, I'm liking it more and more. And it's not to say that those first puzzle pieces weren't great. It's just...
It didn't fit.
They didn't fit, exactly. And now we're kind of seeing that bigger picture. And
they gave us a nice rundown before we get into kind of what actually happened tonight. The last designs that have been selling, they pointed out a few that have totally sold out. So Orly's two-fur zipper skirt has sold out. Zamiro's little preppy board shorts sold out. Lisa and Nikki's dresses have both sold out. And I don't know what Lisa's dress was. Nikki's dress was like a patterned, like kind of, it reminded me of like Poochie.
Yeah.
Kind of that patterny maxi dress with the bandana thing. And then all three of Sarah's designs. She had like a dress, a tuxedo pant, and something else.
And I think they said that over $1 billion worth of...
1 million.
1 million.
Yeah, in the past 3 weeks, over $1 million worth of clothes has been sold.
I think I wrote that down wrong.
1 billion would be nice, though.
No, I looked at my note and I was like, as I was saying it, I was like, 1 billion, but
that's a lot.
I'm like gonna go with it. No, $1 million worth of.
But that's a lot for these designers who have come out of nowhere to suddenly get on stage and be selling their clothes for $1 million on this TV show. I mean, that's amazing. I think that this show is definitely doing these designers a huge favor.
It's also getting their name out there, which I think is probably the greatest thing. I mean, it's great to have a design in H&M or Macy's or what have you, but the fact of the matter is that after Fashion Star, these designers will be known. And
I know we've mentioned this before. I hope the designers really get that this is such a huge opportunity for them to be in front of these buyers, because even though we've talked about Project Runway in the past, and if you win Project Runway, that's great. I mean, this in All Stars, they got their own boutique in Neiman Marcus. But before All Stars, it was just kind of a cash prize, or I think it was cash prize, and you know,
like an editorial spread. I think
an editorial spread, right? But they didn't really get in front of these buyers. Their clothes didn't automatically go to Macy's or H&M or Saks.
Yeah.
So this is a huge opportunity for these designers, and I'm glad that we're sort of starting to see maybe the potential come out in these last 10 designers. The past few weeks, I've been very disappointed in their enthusiasm and their creativity. It's just been like, okay, I get that you're selling to a mass market, but it was just bland. It was like stuff we've seen before, and it wasn't unique. It didn't make me want to go out and buy it.
Exactly. And I think it's also nice to see some of these designers, they also have an opportunity with these mentors to really take their advice. These, as we've said before, three of the most successful, looking at the picture.
Yeah, I know. Well, Elle Macpherson, she's an inspiration as well.
Sure. So 3, 4, however, depending on how you want to look at it. Really successful people in the fashion industry. So use that. I mean, I would use it if I was in their position. It's a great resource to have. And
I felt like, and I know we'll talk about each person individually, but Ross stood out to me tonight because he actually accepted a little bit of criticism without tongue, without biting back, basically, which he has in the past. And he's like, I'm so stubborn. And it's like, okay, well, you shouldn't be, because they were trying to help you. Yeah. And I think it hurt him a little bit tonight that he didn't actually follow their directions, but he at least accepted it a little bit more respectfully tonight. And I felt like that was a big step for him. And that maybe in the next coming weeks, he'll really start to apply that and realize they're not trying to cut me down. They're not trying to hurt my design. They're really trying to help me.
Yeah. I mean, I think that everyone's goal is to make the best designs possible, obviously. So if these mentors can help you, I think that he really needs to, embrace that.
And we saw a little bit more of the workroom, and we'll talk about that individually with each contestant about what their process was in the workroom. But we did finally sort of see more of the workroom this week, and the mentors talking with the designers, and we saw and Sarah had another breakdown. I mean, we just kind of got a little bit more of a sneak peek, I think, into what goes on there, and it made you connect a little bit more with the contestants and with the whole show. Do you agree?
I completely agree. I think it was also really nice to, oftentimes in the past we felt like it was an hour-long fashion show.
Mm-hmm.
It's, oh, this buyer bought this. Okay, we can go buy it tomorrow at the store. That was kind of the gimmick of the show, if you want to call it that. Where now I feel like we're starting to actually get to know these contestants and see a little bit about their stories. And I still want more, in all honesty, but it's a start for sure.
So let's talk about the contestants and get kind of into the meat of the show. We had our first group was Sarah and Orly, who have been probably two of the most bought designers on the show.
Yeah.
Orly had, all the twofer stuff, and she kind of strayed away from that last week, but it came back. For better or for worse, it came back. She had the pants, both pairs of pants, and she had to create again a high end piece and a low end piece. Her high end piece, I liked.
Yeah.
The high waisted pant that kind of folded down.
I kind of thought there was something really nice about it, and I also have to give props to the model. She did a fantastic job.
She did. It wasn't awkward. It wasn't like the maxi dress where they had to like step out of it awkwardly.
Yeah.
It was very fluid, and she did a good job. What did you think about the kind of like string cargo-y looking pants?
It's not something I would personally wear, but I was actually kind of surprised that Macy's didn't go for it. I feel like I've seen a pant like that in Macy's, in all honesty, and I was like, well, that's surprising that they wouldn't go for something like that, because it feels very, I don't know, like 40-year-old women might wear it.
The only thing I didn't like about it was the tie. Like, it made it look a little cheesy. If there would have been some way to kind of make the scrunch happen, but without like this weird string on the side.
Right.
I think the string just made it look cheap. And it made it, like, you could tell that it was, like, you pulled it up and you tied it,
Yeah.
I feel like there should be, to make it really commercial, you have to make it not so cheesy, I think.
I think, if you could somehow maybe even as simple as, like, a button or something that you could hook that string around.
Yeah, something like that to take the little flapping string away.
Yeah, because the flapping string would get awkward. I felt like it would be an interesting thing to wear, like, on a hike, but I'm not sure the material matched.
It's like a cute warm-up suit was kind of how I saw it, and I think without the strings, it would have kind of fit that mold, because it was a nice silhouette as far as the cut of the pant, kind of that gypsy pant that like is skinny at the bottom and then gets bubbly up at the top, which is somehow flattering, even though it wouldn't, you wouldn't assume it would be.
From that description, you wouldn't think so, but then it totally does work. Somehow.
It's like baggy in the crotch, but it's like really flattering. I know. You just have to have the right designer and the right pant, because I've tried on some of those pants and I'm like, oh no, this is not happening.
No, I mean, you can go very right in those pants or very wrong.
Very, very wrong.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's why they didn't get purchased, because it was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't figure it out.
It also might be one of those products that's harder to produce in mass production.
That's true.
Than you
has
realize.
a lot more pieces involved.
Yeah.
So what did you think about Sarah? She had the red structured dress and the white kind of Lady Gaga-ish dress.
The white didn't work for me, in all honesty, just to keep it simple. It didn't work. But the red, I did like it. The fit wasn't perfect on it, but I liked the overall design.
I feel like it was too long. She said something about making it a sexy red dress, but it was looking very career. And I was like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Because it's to her knees. It's like a fitted, structured dress can still look really mature, but to make it just a little bit more mid-thigh makes it younger, makes it a little bit more like daytime, nighttime.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's to your knees, it's like you're wearing a pencil skirt to work,
Exactly. I kind of wanted to see also if it's supposed to be that like nighttime dress. She seemed to say she was trying to do something in the middle.
Yeah.
There needed to be some other detailing on it. I felt like it was a little simple, just the plain red.
Yeah. I mean, it's sellable.
Yeah. It's sellable. There you go.
I don't know about the white. I agree with you on the white. Like, I get what she was trying to do. It's very edgy. It's very different. But it's very specific to a type of person that could wear it, because it had that cut open sides and where you could see like the back and the stomach and stuff. And then the weird hemline. Like, it could be not flattering on a lot of people.
That's exactly it. I felt like if you're trying to mass produce this dress, it didn't have a huge selling point to me. It kind of felt like it was gonna. I was like, it's cool if Lady Gaga wants to wear that.
Right.
More power to her. But like an everyday person, it might be a real struggle to figure out not only whether it looks good on you, but where to wear it to.
Well, Orly did not get a buy, and Sarah did. H&M loves her.
And they're becoming even more and more clear about that. They're like, we really believe in you, Sarah. Like, and it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see as she moves forward, because I think she's gotten a buy from them
Every time.
Yeah. So I'm assuming they're going to want to make a partnership with her.
Yeah.
In the end.
Well, I mean, all of her stuff is selling out, so why not continue with the
Exactly.
with what works and what doesn't? So our second group was Ross, Luciana, and Ronnie. I was very disappointed in this group.
Me too.
Ross, I was disappointed. I felt like it was very like cha-cha. Do you remember on Grease?
Yeah.
Cha-cha Gregoria or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Totally reminded me of her.
Okay. And yes, I completely agree with you. And the other thing is that I think I even said this when we were watching the episode. I love polka dots. Like, my friends would tell you, I love them. And I was like, if you can't get me to love your polka dot dress, you have a really, really big problem.
Well, where's your polka dots?
I know. Well, I didn't realize I have lots of polka dots.
Oh, we'll bring them out.
I
Bring
will.
out the polka dots.
Yeah.
What did you think about the tulle underneath the dress? Like, to me, that just cheapened the whole thing.
Okay, I completely agree. I wouldn't wear something with tulle like that. I know that friends of mine, you may be able to speak to this being from the South, but they're more willing to go that direction.
I don't know. I feel like that's a little too edgy for, like, it's one thing to have tulle underneath the dress to help it stand out.
Yeah.
And that would be cute. But I didn't realize he was going to let the tulle show. I just think that looks really tacky. I mean, especially the black, like, oof, just no.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I completely agree.
I mean, I modeled a dress for Von Vonnie, a designer from New York, and he had a polka dot black and white polka dot dress with like lace. And when I looked at it, I was like, ooh, I don't know how that's gonna like work, but it was fabulous because it just for some reason didn't look cheap. So you can make that kind of thing not look cheap.
Yeah.
You just have to
I think
have the right eye. I don't know. He went a little too overboard for me with the rose and everything.
I completely agree with you. I think that also with a polka dot dress like that retro style, which is definitely what he was going for, it's a fine line between looking that cheap or looking really chic and retro.
And he did the high-low hemline on that black and white dress. And the style and the cut of the white dress was a little bit more like, okay, I at least understand what he's doing. That the high-low hemline on that dress with the tulle, like it just looked like it looked like it fell down. Like half the dress like fell.
Yeah, I mean, there were definitely also some construction issues there, I felt like, as well, looking at the dress.
Yeah, I think he was very stubborn again and didn't really take the advice. But he accepted it and moved forward. So I appreciate that from him. What did you think about Ronnie?
You know, Ronnie was someone that I think even the mentors mentioned this as well, that you want to like. I was cheering for him in the beginning, and because he seemed to have an interesting ideas.
Such a likable name is my only input. Okay,
I
back to
think
you.
about you every time his dresses walk down the runway, Ronnie.
Well, it's better because when they did the Luck After show, the Ronnie character was a really awful guy. So at least this Ronnie's a winner. So I like that.
Well, he was almost not a winner.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that later.
Exactly.
All right, bring it.
And I liked one of his designs tonight.
Which one?
The longer, like ball gown-ish.
It looked good on the model.
Yeah.
I don't know that it wasn't creative. It wasn't different, in my opinion. The color was nice.
I was just about to say, I kind of like the color. That was the main selling point for me.
And I get the color blocking on the shorter dress, but I just feel like he was too safe.
And that's that was my issue. I felt like the shorter dress was something I've seen 100 times before. It was,
and it's nice, but it's like, okay, come on. You're on you're on national television. You have the show. Like, you have buyers ready right there. Like, really go for it and show them who you are. Like, I don't know anything about him from those dresses other than he likes teal.
Yeah, exactly. And I always say this with Project Runway and Fashion Star. All I want to know is who you are as a designer.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for week after week. And if you can show me that, I don't necessarily have to be a fan of yours.
Right.
But at least I know who you are. And with him, I feel like we're not getting anything special.
You know, that's a great point, because there's a lot of designers. Like, I don't personally love Betsy Johnson, her stuff.
Yeah.
But I know who she is.
Yeah.
And I know exactly who her audience is. And I love that about her.
Yeah.
You know, like, I get it. And I respect her for her designs. I don't necessarily wear it because it's just not my style.
Yeah.
But it works, and I'm glad that she exists. You know what I mean?
That's 100% my thing as well. Is I don't have to wear you. I don't have to love your stuff, but I know who you are, and I know there are some people who really love your stuff, and that's great.
But if you just kind of like do what everybody else does, and you just kind of like don't go out of the box at all, we're not going to respect them as a designer.
Yeah.
And we're not going to want to wear it because it's like, you're not unique. It doesn't make me feel special. It doesn't make me feel amazing, which is what your clothes are supposed to do.
Exactly.
So, and what about Luciana? We saw our first little bit of drama tonight on Fashion Star.
I was going to say, we saw the other side of Luciana here.
Great. I was so not expecting that. Like, who the heck is this guy who's cutting Luciana's patterns for her? Who does he think he is?
Oh, that's an interesting take on it because, okay, so you think that she was in the right then?
Yeah.
That's interesting because I thought I was like, this guy's trying to help you.
Oh, no. I felt like he cut her evening gown like 5 inches too short, which means he's a terrible pattern maker in the first place.
I mean, I'm sure that he seemed to not be great at what he was doing, which is surprising. You're on Fashion Star. You would think they would have the best of the best. But I just thought she was so rude to him, and I felt bad for him in some weird way.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I just felt like she's the designer. It's her dress. It's her butt on the line, really. So if there's something that he did wrong or that she doesn't feel like is correct, I think she has every, reason to kind of pitch a fit about it. And he needs to kind of do what she wants. I mean, he's her helper.
I completely agree with you. It's at the end of the day, it's your name on the line, and you need to be able to, defend your designs. But I think there's a nicer way of going about it.
Well, he was just being really pushy. And like, she's like a young girl, and he's like an older dude, and he's like, no, this is wrong, and you should do this, and she's like, this is my dress.
I
think she just got frustrated.
Yeah.
But I felt bad for that whole situation, and I'm glad that she ended up getting a buy because I was worried because I liked the shorter dress, the little cocktail dress.
Me too. I thought it was really cute and a great color.
It was a great little color. It was kind of like unexpected. It was kind of like that gray, lilac-y color, kind of like pewtery, and it was interesting. The long dress didn't quite do it for me, and I don't think that they actually bought that one. I think, I don't know. It seems like towards the end, it seemed like they said that Saks only bought the short one because it said her, whatever, cocktail dress or short dress. But they didn't actually say when the offer was presented. I think Macy's put down a $50,000 bid and Saks put down a $60,000 bid. But they didn't actually say, I want both, I want one, I want two, I don't know.
Yeah, my understanding, the general gist that I got was that it was that shorter purpley dress.
I would imagine so because that was the only one that I think was good. But I mean, the mentors had a little criticism for her. Once again, they said that they don't know her as a designer. And I don't think I do either.
Yeah, I
feel like she's kind of been swept under the rug until now.
Absolutely. Also, if you have an opinion on which one of us kind of got the right take on that, if Luciana was in the right or the pattern maker, tweet us.
Tweet us. Tweet me at Canden Bliss.
At Stephanie Wenger.
Or tweet us at AFTERBUZZ TV. Let us know what you think because for once we disagree.
I know. It's a rare thing, but
I like it. We don't always have to agree.
No.
We can agree to disagree.
Exactly. And I like that it was just, we didn't talk about it beforehand. We just literally came in here and had two very different takes on.
That's what AFTERBUZZ is all about.
Exactly.
We're just two super fans hanging out, watching the show, and we're allowed to banter and disagree. So you guys out there, let us know what you think. Yeah. And comment on iTunes.
Definitely.
So let's go into group 3. Nikki, Zamiro, and Edmund. And this is the one part of Fashion Star that I still don't like. I don't like when they do this like zoom through. It's like you're getting it, you're in the flow, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, what just happened? They just zoom through 3 people to like save time.
It's so weird. It's like a summary of something and you're like, well, can I go on NBC.com and watch the whole thing? Like, what happened?
Right.
Because you're just getting this like snippet.
Yeah, I don't even remember seeing Nikki's dress. I mean, the one kind of polka dotty dress that's going to H&M, I think, from what I could gather from those like 2 seconds of her airtime, but it looked really cool, really retro, and she was struggling. in the workroom because she's a bathing suit designer. So this was a stretch for her.
Yeah, very nervous about doing that high-end side, and she seemed to knock it out of the ballpark. I mean, I wish we had seen it more, but I mean, a $60,000 offer from H&M is nothing to sneeze at.
Nope, not actually. It was $70,000.
Oh, $70,000.
They bumped it up to 70. Yeah, Saks and H&M had a little bidding war with Nikki's stuff. They were just patterned dresses, but I think I'm going to be interested to go on H&M and find that high-end one.
I know. I might have to actually like hit up the Beverly Center or wherever and see
Century City Mall.
Exactly.
But Zamiro, for the first time, did not get a buy, and he was very confident.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the way that he was like, I've had a buy every week. Kind of.
He's like, I am a genius or whatever.
Exactly.
And then he didn't get a buy. I felt bad for him, but you know what? I think it might be good for him because I don't want people to get like all high and mighty, hoity-toity.
I was going to say, sometimes when you get your confidence, a little bit shaken up, that can lead to better things and thinking outside the box a little.
Yeah, it's like maybe he didn't try as hard this week because he's like, oh, I'll get a buy.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see that. That'll make me just like not have a crush on you anymore, Zamira.
I think that's great. I think a lot of entertainers do need to go through that at some point, and it does make it better for your artistic craft. I really legitimately believe that knock on your butt was probably good for this particular designer.
Well, thank you for that opinion, Ronnie.
I mean, I feel strong about it. That's why I had to do it.
I love it. No, I love it. This is what it's all about. Edmund, on the other hand, had some kind of weird like gladiator chainmail, weird foil dress.
Yeah, I was just going to say that was just, an epic fail.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I hated his fabric. Like, what was that? That weird, it's like that stretchy metallic spandexy weird material. I was like, please don't ever use that fabric.
It didn't look flattering. I didn't fully understand what he was trying to achieve with it. I just was kind of lost and needed to go away.
It didn't look expensive at all either. It was like, ooh.
It looked like the kind of thing that you would find at like Filene's basement. Just like, oh, cool.
Like, ooh, vintage. Like maybe if it's like for a costume party or something.
Oh, cool. I can pick this up,
for $5. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think he was pretty bummed.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed upset for sure.
Well, I liked Group 4 pretty good.
Yeah, I felt pretty good about Group 4 as well.
Happy for Barbara. Oh, my girl Barbara. She finally got a buy.
She, you could tell, was desperate for that buy, and she was so
I think
happy.
she was like stunned. She's like, thank you. She's like, she didn't even know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, because I think she could see herself walking towards that exit if she didn't get the buy. And
we've all seen potential in her, I think, this whole time. It's just like figuring out, okay, she has these cool ideas, it is different, how does she kind of tone it down just enough to sell it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think tonight, I don't know that I understand the cargo dress thing. It was a little too long. The length was like almost all the way to the floor.
That, and I couldn't fully figure out the pattern.
The pattern. It was almost like weird tie-dye, but I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of wanted it to be just a simple, nice cargo dress.
Yeah, but I think her little hoodie thing was super cool.
Yeah, and like nothing else I'd seen out there, which is awesome. I mean, that's what you want. Again,
it was like a sexy warm-up suit dress.
Yeah.
Like, I would totally wear that every day.
Exactly. I was like, that looks like something you could wear to class all the way to, like, going to dinner with your friends. Like, there's a million uses for that dress.
I liked it. Loved it. It was super cute. I love that it was backless. I'm sorry that you can't wear a bra with it if we're going to go there. But again, as we know, it's not a problem for Canden.
love that we have to mention it every time.
Well, this is a fashion show.
Yeah.
It's still relevant. What did you think about Lisa's designs?
I want to like Lisa. She's a person, another one that I felt like, okay, like she's kept it simple, but I think sometimes simple that's well done can be fantastic. Like that's some of my favorite stuff is really simple but well cut and well designed. She didn't show that this week. She kind of, it was too simple. It was so ordinary, and the yellow, I feel like not everyone can wear yellow, and
it was too much of a yellow. Do you agree?
Yeah.
It was like way too highlighter yellow.
Exactly. I was gonna say if you kind of toned it down a bit and went with like a spring pastel-y yellow, that might be a better kind of coat. Where what she did, I just felt like it wasn't really spring. I don't know. It just didn't do it.
What about the patterned one? She said she was so excited about that pattern because it was like $50 a yard. I was very underwhelmed.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the pattern. It was okay. I didn't think it was necessarily a coat.
No.
I would
maybe
like
a skirt.
A skirt, or I don't know exactly the fabric, like the heaviness of the fabric, but like I thought of it as a top with
like a blouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't work as a coat. Sorry, Lisa. What about Cara?
Cara is so interesting to me because every week she surprises me. She does something that's cool and outside the box, and I think she is like that outside the box designer who, you know, it's not necessarily something I would wear every week, but you can tell it's well constructed, and she's thought of something that is truly her, and I think you have to give her a lot of credit for that. Yeah,
we know her. We know her as a designer all the way from her tie with the collar to now her full outfits, and I mean, Saks is eating it up. Yeah. And good for her. I think she's tapped into a market that's very interesting. You know, some of her stuff I think is very cool, and I would so wear it. Kind of the boyfriend look. Yeah. The whole tails coat tonight, I'm very intrigued by it. I'm not quite sure how to wear it appropriately.
Yeah. I completely agree with you, and I'm also curious about the retail price of that particular item. I feel like it could go really high.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to look it up on Saks.com.
Yeah,
and figure out how much that tuxedo jacket is.
Exactly.
And if it's, I mean, again, Saks bought it, so like, I don't know that I'll really
be purchasing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's always expensive.
I know. I wish that kind of went to H&M, because I would love to just like have it in my wardrobe to just like play with. I know I just said that I like wouldn't necessarily wear her stuff, but that kind of thing at H&M I might spring for.
Right. You might spend a couple, like maybe $40-$50 instead of like $300.
Exactly. $300 might be tough to get me to spend.
Well, in the end, Lisa went home.
Yes. And that's sad.
I mean, I'm sad. I like her. I mean, we had the bottom three were Lisa, Ronnie, and Edmund. Mm-hmm. And the mentors decided to save Ronnie. So, Ronnie, you got saved.
And Nicole warned him. Nicole warned him to bring it. I mean,
you better bring it.
Game on for him, for sure.
I feel like it should be game on for everybody. At this point, like finally for me, I'm tuned in. I get it. I want to see somebody win. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not apathetic anymore. I'm finally like have an opinion about it, and I'm emotionally attached to it now. So I want them all to bring it, or I'm going to get apathetic again.
I have a question about the judging. Okay. You know how, like, and we do talk about people evolving. Right. I just wanted to get your guys' opinion, not on all the judges. I mean, you can speak on all of them if you'd like. But Nicole Richie, you know, who, of course, we saw years ago as this fun, vibrant, young kind of a...
Paris Hilton's best friend.
Sidekick, and she was like kind of raw, and she's just so fashiony. Is she boring though? That's like my only question.
Is she boring?
I just get a little with
she's
her.
So toned down now.
Yeah,
and she's very business at this point.
I feel like also on this show, like kind of it's bothering me less, but there's still an issue of that we don't see a ton of the mentors. Really, we get one comment from them about the designs,
and they don't all comment on every design.
Yeah,
and that bugs me a little bit, because I don't want to just hear what Jessica Simpson has to say about a coat. I want to hear what everybody has to say about the coat, and I want to be able to think about it myself.
But I do like some of Nicole's comments, to answer you. She really is like interesting, and she has a lot of opinions, and she really does understand the workroom process, which is interesting because she has her own line, and that means that she's most likely involved in her own line too, which is cool.
She is very intelligent, and I think I've gained a lot more respect for her in this show than I think I ever had for her. You know, you see her as a powerful businesswoman now and a fashionista, not just like a party girl. And I think that was the point in all of these designers kind of coming on the show, is to really show who they are. And we want to see more. You know,
I am so excited for the weeks to come now, because I feel like now I'm rooting for people, and that's really exciting.
Well, they're getting a little bit more airtime slowly but surely. So maybe they'll, equalize it so that we can get to know everybody. But yeah, again, Ronnie got saved and Lisa was sent home. I did like at the end, for the first time, and this is where we did see a little more of the judges, they had like this banter thing going on. Like, we got to see the mentors talking about who they were going to save. And we saw the judges, the buyers, talking about who they were going to send home.
And that was fascinating, just to see the interaction between the buyers, because they seem like such, obviously, individual entities onto themselves. And so they were all interacting, and kind of seeing a little bit of their personal relationship is also really cool.
I loved, I think his name is Taryn. He's like, no.
No, and he didn't even look up from his notes. He was just like, and no.
But that's who he is. I mean, he's like kind of like an up and down personality. Sometimes he's like very stern, and then sometimes he kind of gets a little warm. I mean, I like him. I'm kind of addicted to him. He's funny.
He's got this great ready for TV personality.
Yeah, he does. And I love Caprice, and I don't remember the other lady's name.
I'm not sure I do either. Okay. We'll move on.
We'll move on from that. But, you know, in the end, I loved the banter. Like I said, I think I want to see more. I want to see what their opinions really are on everybody. And hopefully we'll see that in the weeks to come. So we're going to go to commercial, guys. When we come back, we're going to predict what we think is going to happen next week. There's a couple new challenges and some things are going to change. So stay tuned.
AfterBuzz TV. Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And, like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about? And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
We are going to predict for you guys what we think is going to happen next week. We're down to the final 10 of Fashion Star, which it seems to have been moving pretty fast, but I'm glad we're at 10 now. I think it's a reasonable number. We're going to get to really see these contestants step it up. And they better step it up.
Yeah, exactly.
But we found out that next week some things are going to change for Fashion Star.
They're going to be working in teams for the first time.
Which is interesting. This is kind of I mean, this week's challenge was like kind of a change up. So they had to create this high end and then this low end. Next week, they're going to be in teams. So I'm hoping that they're going to start throwing these kind of loopholes into the show. I think it's going to make it a lot more interesting, a lot more intriguing. We're going to get to see the designers in different like environments and kind of push their limits a little bit. Do you agree?
I completely agree. And I think that also it'll be great to see more specific challenges. Like this week, we knew high end, low end. These are the goals. Next week, it's going to be some team related challenge. If they can keep going in that way, I think it makes it for a more exciting.
It's all about goals. That's a great word. Is that as a viewer, as a fan, you need to have something to root for them for. Like we were confused because we didn't know what the end result is. Now that we know what they're fighting for, we can root for them.
Yeah, and we're both so in now.
Yeah, and that's the point of a competition show, of a game show. You, as a viewer, you have to know what's the goal and how can I help my favorite get there. You know?
Exactly. I mean, even with like American Idol and Dancing with the Stars, it's like you call in because that's how you know who your favorite is. And obviously with Fashion Star, the way you support is to go out and buy the clothes.
Speaking of which, I'm going to give you guys a list of where you can buy these clothes tomorrow. H&M is going to be carrying Sarah's structured dresses in red and white. Nikki's pattern dresses. And you might see me in H&M tomorrow getting that first one. Macy's is going to be selling Barbara's dresses, the hoodie and the cargo dress.
So cute.
Super cute. You might see me in Macy's. And then Saks is going to be carrying Luciana's short beaded dress and Kara's tuxedo jackets. So Guys, go buy your stuff online right now at Saks.com, H&M.com, Macy's.com, or go to the stores tomorrow.
Shop, shop, shop. Clearly.
Shop till you drop. And we will see you guys next week. Christopher Joseph might be back in the house with us, so come back and sit with us.
Definitely.
Good night, guys.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.